How's it going, everyone? My name is Anthony, aka ComicsRGreat, and welcome to the new comic book day haul video for the books that I got back on Wednesday, December 1st. I do apologize for this video being late. I've had a lot of things happen in my personal life. As you know, things happen, and all you can do is roll with it and try the best that you can. So you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. So, before I get into the video, I want you to take a look at the two books that I got over there. They're from my friends at Team NerdHerd. I want to thank them very much for the AOK that they sent me. I really do appreciate it. It's the first AOK that I've ever gotten. And to top it off, they also got one of the books signed by artist extraordinaire David Nakayama. Thank you very much, Mr. Nakayama, if you're looking at this video, for signing the books for me. I really do appreciate it. As you know from our conversations, I love your artwork, especially the color bleeds, and keep up the great work. And I hope that 2022 will be much better than 2021, and 2021 is going to be kind of hard to top because you did a ton of covers, and most of them came out pretty good. Alright, so without further ado, here are the books that I got for Wednesday, December 1st, starting with from Marvel Comics, Amazing Spider-Man number 80 by Cody Ziglar and Michael Dowling. The cover was drawn by Arthur Adams. So, in this issue, it continues directly from issue number 79 with Ben Reilly battling Kraven. And you still see Kraven with a flaming head and some weird wings and a spear. Okay, all because Ben Reilly is full of hallucinogens. He manages to get away and he gets himself together, runs into some doctors who give him some kind of a cocktail to fight off these hallucinogens. Alright, and eventually he does beat off Kraven. And Kraven claims that it's a different spider, he needs to find his way, that he's forever the hunter, and at the end of it all, he blows himself up. But we all know Kraven's going to come back. They're going to have some kind of story that explains how he managed to escape. So Ben Reilly goes back to the Beyond Corporation with all these bumps, bruises, and scratches, okay? And they said that he's going to have a week off because just to heal up and that he needs it. He's gone through a lot. All right, while the CEO doesn't feel that that should be the case. That he should actually be working harder since they've invested all this money into him. But the next person that Ben Reilly may wind up running into is Miles Morales. Because in my last video, I mentioned that Miles Morales did get a visit from the... I think I mentioned it, unless I edited it out, that he got a visit from the Beyond Corporation for copyright infringement on the Spider-Man name. As crazy as it sounds. So, in a couple of issues, in issue number 81, we are going to see a showdown between Ben Reilly and Miles Morales. Okay, because Miles Morales obviously isn't going to take it lying down. Okay, he's not going to take kindly to being sued over being called Spider-Man when he was Spider-Man already before the Beyond Corporation came along. The next issue is actually not number 81. It's 80.BEY, as crazy as it sounds. And hopefully we'll get some news on Peter Parker when all is said and done. In any case, issue 80.BEY is coming out on Wednesday, December 8th. From DC Comics, Batman Fear State Omega by James Tynion, Riccardo Federici, Kristen Deuce, Ryan Benjamin, Gilliam March, and Trevor Hairsine. The cover was drawn by Jamal Campbell. So this is the aftermath of the Fear State storyline. This ties it up in a neat little bow. Okay, so at the end of Fear State, Batman, Bruce Wayne Batman, let me be technical here, he decides to sort of break Scarecrow out of the transport that's taking him to Arkham Asylum and give him a little ride. And in this ride, he's essentially breaking down for Scarecrow all the reasons why Fear State failed. Was it necessary? No, because everything was wrapped up in Batman number 117. So in order to have Batman Fear State Omega, it's got to explain everything, I guess. So even though, while this book wasn't exactly necessary, but it does lay out everything for you, that's going to eventually happen. So Mayor Nakano, who got arrested, is going to Task Force X, aka the Suicide Squad. So obviously he's not going to be on the field. Somehow or other, he's going to be working with Amanda Waller because she likes a number of the things that he did. One of which was creating Magistrate 01 and Magistrate X. Alright, there's a lot of military applications that could be used for. So she swept him up before anyone else can put their hands on him. Then you have the new team of Ghostmaker and Clown Hunter. So that's going to essentially be almost like a Batman Robin type of deal. Because Ghostmaker is the expert, Clown Hunter is the new Robin, or his Robin, so to speak. And then you also have the future battle that we're going to have of Batman versus Batman. Bruce Wayne versus Jace Fox. So, and we all know that this is going to be coming. Okay, it's been brewing for over a year already. Jace Fox has no reason to be Batman, okay? His parents are alive. He has money, okay? He doesn't have the same problems that Bruce Wayne had in the past, okay? So, why is he Batman? And I have a feeling that's going to be Bruce Wayne's argument. And obviously he wants to make some kind of a difference. He probably wants to be a better Batman. Obviously, the DC is going to be preparing for that, and I look forward to seeing it when it eventually happens. Hopefully they'll do it right, and hopefully it'll be exciting and it won't be a big fat dud. There is no new issue or next issue. I mean, this was a one-shot, unless you're talking about Batman 118, which a lot of people are looking forward to because this book officially wraps James Tynion's run. He is no longer working on Batman after this or any Batman issue. And Josh Williamson and Jorge Molina have taken over the main Batman title. And there's a new character by the name of Abyss that's coming out. So in any case, Batman number 118 will be coming out on Wednesday, December 8th. From DC Comics, Batman the Detective number 6 by Tom Taylor and Andy Kubert. So this is the last issue of the Batman the Detective miniseries, and I have to admit, this was pretty good. Not action-packed, but definitely a quality storyline. It takes place at the end of Bruce Wayne's career, where, of course, the question is, was Bruce Wayne successful as Batman? Did he make a difference? And in the town of London, he kind of feels he hasn't. And Charlotte LaSurf, aka Equilibrium, who's been running around in a white Batman costume, definitely believes that he didn't make a difference. Because one of the people he supposedly kept from, who he threw in jail instead of killing, killed her family, which forced her to become Batman, or a version of Batman, a worse version. So Ducard, who trained Batman, also trained her. Tells Batman that she's the best fighter that he's ever trained other than Bruce. So she gets her team together and sets up a showdown with Bruce Wayne and has all these drones ready to bomb the hell out of London. Okay, so one, does Bruce Wayne stop her? Of course. But he comes to finally realize that he doesn't do it alone. He gets a lot of help and it's all shut down, primarily from Oracle. Number 2, Ducard at the end tries to kill her because he feels that she is a monster of his own making. And the only way to stop said monster is to kill her. And Bruce Wayne stops him with a batarang, knocks the gun out of his hands because he will not permit it. He won't permit death. He, as hard-headed as he is, at least he sticks to his guns, so to speak. Alright? But when Charlotte LaSurf realizes everything, she feels so much grief that she tries to take her own life. And Bruce Wayne stops that too. he grabs the front of the gun with his hand, even though it has bulletproof Kevlar around his hand, and he stops the bullet. And his hand definitely took a beating from that, because even with Kevlar, that's going to seriously hurt and possibly break a few bones. So she's still alive. He knocks her out. Okay, he feels bad. He believes that he'll get her the help that she needs. And there ends the tale. Okay, a very interesting Elseworlds story. Pretty good series. Andy Kubert's artwork is top notch as usual. One of the most consistent and great artists in his generation. All right, and the miniseries is over. On to the next title. From Marvel Comics, Captain Marvel number 34 by Kelly Thompson and Sergio Davila. The cover was drawn by Stanley Artgerm Lau. So this is part 3 of a 5-issue storyline called Last of Marvels. Artgerm's cover shows a picture, as you can see, of Captain Marvel. Now, we haven't seen Captain Marvel in a minute. Okay, during Civil War, there was a rumor that Marvel possibly came back, but it wound up being a Skrull that looked like Marvel. Marvel has always, always teased that Marvel would come back, and I don't know if this is going to be indeed the case finally, but this does give one hope. So Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers, was trapped in a suit, and she managed to blast her way out by just amping up her powers to the max and busting out. So all the people who have claimed the name of Marvel one time or another have gotten attacked. Monica Rambeau, Kamala Khan, Phyla Vell, Captain Marvel, and herself, they've all at one time had the name Marvel. And I think there's even one or two more that I can't think of off the top of my head. However, so they've all gotten attacked, and you actually see Marvel in a suit that he looks alive and well, but he's still under the control of the enemy. So her job for now is to try and stay alive, and she gets some help from Phyla Vell. And now that she knows that Marvel's alive, she's going to want to try and free him. So will we finally get him back? That remains to be seen. But like I said, it does give one hope. And at the end of the issue, you see a updated version of Carol Danvers. She has her Captain Marvel powers, but she's also flexing her binary powers at the same time. So in any case, Captain Marvel number 35 will be coming out on Wednesday, December 22nd. From Marvel Comics, Daredevil number 36 by Chip Zdarsky and Manuel Garcia. So this is the last issue of this run of Daredevil. It is an interesting issue. The police surrounded Matt Murdock as Daredevil, okay, demanding that he be taken into custody last issue, and the heroes tried to prevent that. He gave himself up. His attorneys got him out of prison the right way, so he's a free man, and he hooks up with Elektra once again. So the whole thing is, where do we go from here with Matt Murdock and Elektra, because now they're both Daredevil. That's on one side. On the other side, you have Typhoid married, and the Kingpin, who is no longer the Kingpin, he's just Wilson Fisk, mayor of New York City, that they're getting married. And Matt Murdock doesn't know this, and he eventually finds out. And he also finds out that his brother is up to no good. Okay, tries to straighten his brother out, but he swings around in his Daredevil costume, and he pays Wilson Fisk a visit. He decides to let bygones be bygones, and he wishes him all the happiness in the world. Wilson Fisk and Typhoid Mary get married without a hitch, and they wind up going to one of her safe houses for their honeymoon, so that way they're not disturbed. Okay, and Elektra still wants to be Daredevil. She wants to try and see what life is like in Matt Murdock's shoes, doing it his way, not killing people, and trying to help them. It's going to be very interesting having two Daredevils around. Now, at the end of the issue, though, Wilson Fisk is looking through Matt Murdock's file, and everyone is supposed to have forgotten that Matt Murdock is Daredevil. But we don't know what's going to happen, if he sees things a little differently. Maybe that visit triggered something. Well, we don't know. But what we do know is this. Devil's Reign #1, which is a 6-issue miniseries that will hopefully answer all these questions, will be coming out on Wednesday, December 8th. From Image Comics, Me You Love in the Dark #5 by Scotty Young and Jorge Corona. So this is the end of the 5-issue miniseries. And last issue, we saw Rose Handler, or her boss, come to pay her a visit, wondering why she hasn't submitted any paintings and why she's been holed up in this house. And exactly what we figured happened. The creature that lives in the house that's been driving her nuts and keeping her shut in kills him. And she freaks out. And she's telling the creature to stay away from her. She wants nothing to do with the creature. And he tries to put her boss back together. And he looks nothing like what he looked like before. You know, I mean, it's like trying to chop up a chicken and then saying, put the chicken parts back together and say, oh, look, it's a chicken. It's still alive. But of course it's not. It's completely dead. So she's freaking out. She doesn't know what to do. She just wants to leave. And the creature will not let her leave. No way, shape, or form is he or it going to let her leave. She convinces it that she's calm. And she is just doing her thing, painting. And slowly but surely setting some things up. She flicks her lighter on and burns the whole house down. And she manages to escape. And she thinks that everything is done. The house is gone. The creature is gone. But at the end of the story, at an art store, there's a picture. And in that picture is part of that creature. So I have a feeling that there will be a follow-up miniseries to this. I haven't heard anything. But this has been a very interesting series. Definitely underrated in my opinion. I'm sure that if there is a follow-up, that they'll have to go into the history of this creature, where it came from, how it came to be, and how it'll eventually have its hooks in someone else, and possibly bring Ro back. So like I said, this is the end of the miniseries, and I definitely look forward to Scotty Young's next piece of work. He's famous for his covers, and little by little, he's getting famous for his writing too. You know, not just with Strange Academy, but with this, and I look forward to the next one. From Marvel Comics, X-Men: The Trial of Magneto #4 by Leah Williams, Louis Wernick, and David Messina. The cover was drawn by Paco Medina. So this is issue 4 of a 5-issue miniseries. And I have to admit, I didn't read issues 2 and 3. Kind of because I thought that it was unnecessary. Okay, issue 1, Wanda Maximoff, aka the Scarlet Witch, she's murdered. And all fingers point to Magneto. Okay, he even gives himself up to be arrested. 2 and 3, I guess, to me, were filler issues. I bought them, didn't read them. I decided to read this one because since it was the penultimate issue and just to see what they were putting together. So, in the video, I said that Wanda was going to eventually be back. And she was going to be back real soon. And I figured that it was going to be at the end of this miniseries. And I was right. Issue 4, Wanda's back. Not just one version, 3 versions of Wanda. The past, the present, the future. And what do? They all merge into one. There's one Wanda Maximoff. She knows her kids. Her powers work the way they're supposed to. You know, and like I said, she's back. Wow. We don't even wait a year now for a person to die and come back. Now it's not even 6 months. But, of course, the question is, who killed her in the first place? Like I said, all signs point to Magneto. But I don't think it's that simple. I don't think it was him. I think it's someone else. Who? I don't know. I decided to leave that open and get surprised. That hopefully there would be a surprise. Wasn't surprised by Wanda coming back, but I think I will be surprised with who killed Wanda. So in any case, X-Men, The Trial of Magneto number 5 will be coming out on Wednesday, December 22nd. So this week I have 2 cover buys. Alright, so the first cover buy is Jennifer Blood. This is the first issue, which I have. I don't have the second one, which is shown here, but I did get the third one. I do plan on going back and getting the second one. All 3 of these were done by Leslie Lyrics Lee. Let's backtrack here a little bit. Issue 2 and issue 1. So as you can see, she likes to give the girl an Asian look, but a definite Punisher type feel. Definitely, for me, number 3 is one of the covers of the week. Well, it has a gray background, very wet and rainy, and, the colors make it pop, the skin tone and obviously the shape of the body. Okay, I'm not going to say it's not, but it does make it pop. So the next cover of the week is Venom number 2, which was done by John Boy Myers. This is a variant cover, specifically the local comic shop day variant. And what I found very interesting is that Venom 3, which is next month's, is something very, very similar, except in red, also by John Boy Myers. So like I said, this is a preview. Okay, and this is the one I currently have. I do plan on getting next month's. But as you can see, this one is in green. I do like this cover. Very action-packed, even though he's standing still. But the chains, to me, give it that flowing feeling. But like I said, and this is going to be next month's, which I'm going to be looking forward to getting. Alright, so again, this is my cover buys. Venom number 3, Venom number 2, and Jennifer Blood number 3. Did you pick up some of the comic books I showed you today? If so, please let me know which ones in the comments down below. Also, if you like the content of this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up and press that subscribe button so you know when I post my books on a more regular basis. Anyway, during this holiday season, don't forget to mask up, be vigilant, and be wise as you collect your comics, so that way you're not collecting something else that you're going to wind up distributing to your family. Alright? So, be safe, be vigilant, and from my family to yours, remember, comics are great, and so are you. Later.